Today I'd like to talk about managing and scaling Kubernetes platforms. Containers and Kubernetes platforms are being accepted by the mainstream as the go-to standard for modern and modernizing applications. Kubernetes itself is complex, and Kubernetes platforms cover more than container orchestration but involve the operating system, networking, and storage. And within the enterprise, we have found, though some teams own their cluster, more commonly centralized teams are managing those Kubernetes clusters, whether they be on premise or in the cloud. But how many people do you need to deploy, run, and maintain your Kubernetes platforms? Are you on top of your game in managing security and governance and compliance? There are many reasons you invested in Kubernetes, and it wasn't to get into a new realm of pain and making your developers' ops work harder. Red Hat has been working with Kubernetes since it was open source in 2014, and we've seen how organizations have really started to grow with this technology. Advanced customers are talking hybrid, multi-cloud, multi-clusters and edge, and the growth of the number of Kubernetes clusters presents a challenge to your DevOps teams. And we're talking security, provisioning, deployment of apps, monitoring, governance, and compliance. Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management for Kubernetes is a solution that will help solve these challenges of managing the governance, security across the multiple Kubernetes platforms. It provides a single pane of glass to that cluster lifecycle, security and governance, and the application lifecycle, whether it be OpenShift or other flavors of Kubernetes. We see multiple benefits of Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management. We see the compliance and policy enforcement, so the ability to get a quick view to see if your Kubernetes clusters are compliant with the policies that you set out. You get increased availability of applications, you get that self-service, and you get the consistency of deployment and those reliable processes, which in turn all reduces those operational costs. So if we look at a little bit more of the multi-cluster lifecycle management, it provides a single pane of glass for those Kubernetes clusters, and you can see across the top here we've got Azure, we've got Amazon, we've got My Data Center, and Auto Detect with 2 clusters. You can centrally create, update, and delete Kubernetes clusters, and you can search, modify any Kubernetes resources across the entire domain, which really allows you to quickly troubleshoot and resolve issues across that federated domain. In terms of observability, we've got a Grafana dashboard giving you an out-of-box multi-cluster health monitoring dashboard to see what's going on. It's a centralized database, optimized set of metrics, we've got unlimited data retention, and you can start to observe those metric trends and set alert patterns. With the governance and security enhancements, here we're creating a policy, and there's built-in policies here with built-in standards from FISBA, from NIST, from PCI, etc. In terms of advanced application lifecycle management, you can deploy your applications at scale. Here we've got a nice visualized view of how that application relationship is across the cluster. It brings that simplified user experience, so it's a step-by-step, allows you to build those applications quickly and deploy them. We've also got sort of time deployment, so you can schedule application deployment when needed. Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management for Kubernetes provides enterprises with a consistent and standard way to manage your fleet, which in turn leads to a fast, consistent, and high-quality result in cluster and application management. We see the reduction in operational costs having that unified interface that really allows you to have that centralized team have that single centralized management plane for all your needs. Thank you very much.